I thought my landlord overcharged me. Turns out he was running a restaurant. The envelope in my hand felt heavy, heavier than 3 sheets of paper should ever feel. It was the kind of weight that sits in your stomach, not your palm. I was standing in the dim light of my kitchen, if you could call a hot plate and a mini fridge wedged into a hallway a kitchen, staring at the logo of the city power company. It was January 30th. It was freezing outside, a bitter, bone-chilling cold that seeped through the concrete foundation of this basement apartment and settled into my marrow. But despite the cold, despite the fact that I was wearing 2 hoodies and wool socks, I was sweating. I ripped the envelope open. The sound of the tearing paper was violently loud in the silence of the room. I pulled out the statement. My eyes scanned past the usage graphs, past the energy-saving tips, straight to the bold black box at the bottom right. Amount due, $842.15. I stopped breathing. My heart gave a single, painful thud against my ribs and then seemed to stop entirely. $800. My rent was $900. I looked at the usage graph. It looked like a skyscraper. In November, my bill was $85. In December, it crept up to $120, which I attributed to the space heater I ran for maybe an hour a night. But January was a vertical line shooting straight up into the stratosphere. No, I whispered, my voice cracking. That's impossible. That's a mistake. I dropped the bill on the counter. It landed on a layer of fine, sticky dust that seemed to coat everything in this apartment lately. I rubbed my thumb against the formica. It came away greasy. That smell. I took a deep breath and immediately regretted it. The air in the apartment didn't smell like a home. It smelled like the inside of a fast food dumpster on a hot day in July. It was a thick, cloying stench of old, burnt oil, mixed with the sharp tang of onions and something rotting. I had been smelling it for weeks. It clung to my clothes. It clung to my hair. I went to work at the library, and my coworkers would wrinkle their noses when I walked by. Did you get fries for lunch? They'd ask. I hadn't eaten fries in months. I was eating ramen and peanut butter because I was trying to save for a car. I grabbed my phone and dialed the landlord, Mr. Henderson. He answered on the 4th ring, sounding annoyed, the background noise of a television blaring. Yeah, what is it? Mr. Henderson, it's David from the basement unit, I said, trying to keep the panic out of my voice. I just got the electric bill. It's over $800. So, Henderson grunted. Rates are up. Inflation, kid, read the news. Rates didn't go up 800%, I argued, gripping the phone. There has to be a short, or a leak, or the meter is broken. I'm barely home. I keep the lights off. Something is pulling a massive amount of power. Look, Henderson sighed, the sound of a man burdened by the stupidity of others. It's been a cold month. You probably left that heater on. Those things are energy hogs. I told you, utilities are in your name. You use it, you pay it. Don't bother me with your budgeting problems. But the smell, I pressed. Mr. Henderson, the apartment smells like a deep fryer. Is there something going on with the ventilation? Did a pipe burst? You're imagining things, he snapped. It's an old house. It has smells. Maybe clean your kitchen once in a while. I'm busy. Pay the bill or the lights go out. And if the lights go out, that's a lease violation. Goodbye. Click. I stood there, listening to the dial tone, feeling the blood rush to my face. He hung up on me. He blamed me. I looked at the bill again. $842.15. If I paid this, I couldn't pay rent. If I didn't pay rent, I was evicted. If I didn't pay this, the power went out, and I was evicted. I was trapped. I paced the small living room. The floorboards above me creaked. Henderson lived upstairs in the main house. Or at least, he claimed to. I rarely saw him. He was a ghost who only materialized to collect checks. But there was something else. A sound. It was a low, constant hum. It wasn't the fridge. It wasn't the furnace. It was coming from the wall that shared a border with the attached garage. The garage was off limits. It was explicitly stated in my lease. Tenant shall have no access to the garage or driveway. Garage is for landlord storage only. I walked over to the wall. I pressed my ear against the cold plaster. And then, a clang. The sound of metal hitting metal. What I was about to find wasn't just a lease violation. It was a fire marshal's worst nightmare and a health inspector's retirement party all rolled into one. Is going to turn this from a civil dispute into a criminal investigation. By the time I step away from this window, I won't just want my money back. I'm going to want to see this house wrapped in yellow tape. Watch full video here.